sharing the truth one fact at a time. This is the Free America Radio Network.
Hey folks, how you doing? This is Reverend Wayne S. Pierce. How you doing? This is the Wayne S. Pierce Show for the 12th of June, 2014. This is the podcast version of the show. Tomorrow, just letting you know, this is first of all, this is a mini podcast. It's not going to be the hour-long podcast that I usually do. It's going to be a mini podcast. And just to let you know that the Wayne S. Pierce Show for tomorrow is, I'm going to take the day off. But, don't worry. I will be here for the views expressed live, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. So, that's why, one of the reasons why I'm doing this mini podcast. I have a lot to basically highlight for you in the next 30 minutes. And I want to get started with something that you ever have those moments where you have those epiphanies after you did something. Let's just say those epiphanies happen quite often now. They happen quite often now. It has come to my attention that not only am I tired of people pissing me off, and I always say, I'm done with stupid people, but it's come to my attention as well in that epiphany that people are ignoring the obvious. And that's not, in a way, that's not an epiphany, but, when you hear things over and over, or when you see something over and over, and you just don't get it until later, people are ignoring the obvious. And it's really simple to understand how people are ignoring the obvious. They just don't care. That their ideas about themselves and about the things around them are either too inflated, to such a degree to where it's impossible to even, function within that situation that they're in. And they're so narcissistic that they think of themselves more than they do others. So they are ignoring the obvious. So I'm going to make a change. I usually make the statement that people are stupid, and I'm done with stupid people. Well, the epiphany has helped me understand a little bit more, so I'm going to change that and say people are blatantly ignoring the obvious. Now, I say that, and it's just, it's one of those things where you either accept yourself and all your flaws, and you say, well, that's just the way it is, which is the most ignorant thing that you could ever do. Or accept yourself, flaws and all, and say, I got to change a few things. And you work in that direction. Do people do that? Oh, I'm sure on a daily basis people are doing that every day. Every hour, every second. Does it have to be proven? Not really, because that's a personal, subjective thing. So, therefore, your actions speak louder than words. And of course, people ignore the obvious. Does that mean that they're right? Does that mean that they'll come to a positive conclusion or a positive solution for their lives? I can only hope so. I can't make anybody change just because I feel that they're doing something wrong. That's just not, it's not possible. I can only look at myself and say, you know what, I don't like this. I'm going to change this. How? Well, let's take a look at it and we'll figure it out. That's pretty much how everybody works, isn't it? So it wasn't a grand, fireworks display of an epiphany that I had. It was just one of those, simply put, aha moments. So, it helps. So, anyway, going to take a little break here. So, I shall return and we'll get into some previews for the views expressed live today at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, and give you a few more ideas. Talk to you in just a bit. This is Reverend Wayne S. Pierce from the Views Expressed. Come join me Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, on Spreaker.com. This is Reverend Wayne S. Pierce from the Free America Radio Network. Prepare yourself for the unexpected. Have an emergency food supply available when you need it. You never know when the next power outage or natural disaster will happen. Are you prepared when it does? Go to Free America Radio Network website and click on the Store tab and get your emergency food supply now. Go to freeamericaradio.us. A natural disaster could happen at any time. Be prepared. Go to freeamericaradio.us and click on the Store tab to get your emergency food supply today. That's freeamericaradio.us and click on the Store tab and prepare in case something happens. Hey folks, welcome back. I appreciate you listening to this podcast. It's a mini podcast. It's not going to be the full hour. I like to do those, I don't know, maybe I could go an hour. Not quite sure yet. I'll let you know during the show. But welcome back. You can go to the WayneSPierceShow.weebly.com site. You can email me, and if you got questions, ask. More than happy to answer any question you have. If I don't know, I'll tell you I don't know. You can email me at freeamericaradio@usa.com. freeamericaradio@usa.com. There's a lot of stuff going on around the world. People can feel it. People can definitely feel what's going on. People can definitely tell that there's something not quite right about the world. Okay? Just not quite right. You know what I mean? So anyway, let's go to... Well, first of all, let me give you a preview of what's coming up on the Views Expressed live today. You can go to Free America Radio on Facebook and check things out. Excuse me. From Citizens for Freedom, that's Citizens, the number 4, Freedom on Facebook. 88 busted luxury cars seized in one of the largest food stamp frauds ever. Okay, let me check that out on Free America Radio on Facebook. The World Net Daily, WND, my mouse seems to be... There we go. I hope that worked. But anyway, U.S. aid, quote-unquote, spawning new breed of jihadists. The World Net Daily, WND. Also from... well, not also, but from guns.com. Chicago Police ATF form intelligence center to fight, quote-unquote, 3%ers. In other words, patriots, anybody that doesn't like the government, doesn't like the policies, yeah, they're going to go after us, folks. That's just the way it is. But that's coming up on the Free America Radio Network. The views expressed live today at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, Also, Nick Tucker from Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker on Facebook. I'm going to be, it's a pretty lengthy overview as to what he has found out and his opinion on what's going on. So you might want to read that as well on Free America Radio on Facebook. From CNBC, Google Guru, computers will be like humans by 2029. I talked a little bit about that yesterday, and people are wondering what are these RFID chips that everybody's talking about. Well, I wouldn't worry about that too much. Although worry, I mean, yes, not. I mean, I'd be concerned about it right now today, but that's only one aspect to be concerned about. The other is nanoparticles. Okay, nanoparticles. Yeah, there are certain things that they've developed. There's a patent, nanoparticles with covalently bound surfactant for drug delivery. Yeah, I don't know how to say those words sometimes, folks, but I will put that on the Free America Radio Facebook page, and you can check that out. There's a patent for that. Also, and it's super paramagnetic nanoparticles for biomedical applications, and infoscience.epfl.ch. Also, I'm going to put this on, I'm going to put this on the Free America Radio Facebook page as well. Is it me, or does my voice sound like crap? From idtheft.about.com, RFID dust, tracking literally everything. There you go. So, how's that for, some reading for you? By the way, moms demand action for Xanax in America. The source is CNN. They lied, absolutely lied through their teeth, and they always will lie through their teeth. They said that... moms demand action. I'm going to say this. I'm not. You can read that for yourself and search it out on your own, and draw your own conclusion on that. I'm not going to read it for you, but I will put it up on Free America Radio on Facebook. I look at it this way, and I'm going to make this very, very clear. Okay. There are going to be people out there who are going to stop at nothing. They're going to pull out all the stops, and they're going to do everything they can to try to stop anybody from being able to own a weapon, to defend themselves, to doing anything that would be able to help them in regards to living, such as growing a garden in your backyard, food, bell peppers and carrots and, all that. There are people out there that want to stop you from doing that. I'm not saying Moms for Action is like that, but what I'm saying is that they are the type of group that will say, we don't want you doing that because we feel that the outcome is worse than, the purpose by which you need whatever it is you need. In other words, the results of gun violence dictates to us that we don't need guns. Excuse me? We're going to, what? You want us to depend on a police officer? Well, my weapon on my side is a lot better and quicker than a 20-minute car ride in a cop car when they're got their lights and sirens on trying to get to my place. So, that's just the way it is. And these groups, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to dovetail that into this, and it's kind of related, but I'm going to say this. Any one of these groups that are quote unquote in the political arena, that have, most of these groups have non-profit status. Any of these groups that talk about getting rid of guns, getting rid of this, and installing, fascist dictatorial, types of ordinances and laws. All these groups that are saying that are tax exempt need to have their tax exempt status revoked and need to stop their bullcrap. When you look at the demographics and you examine all these groups, they cater to one type of people. And about 60 to 70% of these groups are infiltrated by the federal government to control them to be, quote unquote, controlled opposition. Now, when you look at this situation with the shootings in Las Vegas and Oregon and all that, I'm going to say this. You have to do your own homework. I cannot tell you exactly what I know because you're not going to believe it. So you're going to have to do your own research. I can tell you where to go, where to find stuff, but you're going to have to draw your own conclusions after that, because I can't throw you on the ground put you in a bear hug or throw your arm up behind your back and shove you against the wall and tell you this is what you're going to believe. That's just not going to happen. You wouldn't allow that, and I wouldn't do it. So there you go. But you're going to have to figure this stuff out on your own. And when I say certain things, don't sit there and start yelling and screaming and saying I'm a conspiracy theorist. Why don't you get up off your ass and go do some homework? It's only going to help you understand this whole thing much better. But, if you don't want to do that and just want to sit on your ass and, watch ESPN and do all those stupid things, then you go right ahead and do that because, that's what you do. I wrote today, I said, is it too much to ask for our so-called leaders actually do their job? To actually do their job? Yeah, I left out a word, folks. Let me go edit that so people know what the heck I'm talking about. I just left out a word. That happens. Yeah, just go back and fix it. Is it too much to ask that our so-called leaders... Oh, I was right. See, when you wake up and you have no coffee and your brain is not functioning properly, you screw things up. Now I got to edit it again, but let me read it to you and I'll go edit it here later. Is it too much to ask for our so-called leaders to actually do their job? The government is amassing weapons and military in all parts of the U.S. Why? Simple. To stop the uprising. We, the people, will defend this nation against, quote, enemies, foreign and domestic, unquote, including all of those that reside in the nation's capital. Don't like the fact that I'm patriotic and want this country to be restored? You can unfriend me anytime you want. I seriously, now, I want people to understand one very valuable thing. Your life is your own. And to depend on somebody else to tell you what to do, when to do it, why to do it, and how to do it, well, excuse me, massive problem there. I really think you need your head examined. But that's beside the point. And what's the point? The point is simple. If you'd rather be tugged around by your nose or hauled around, by your keister and take everything from the taxpayers and just say, screw it, somebody else is paying for it. Yeah, there's a huge problem right there. I found in my own research over the years that most people who just want to suck off the teat of the government actually have no positive self-image whatsoever. Oh, they say they will and all this. They don't. They don't. Just go look at them. Just go talk to them. Sit down. I have. I've looked at where they live. I look at how they are. I've watched what they say. Oh, believe me, there's no positive self-image there at all. There's an attitude of, I deserve it, so the government's going to give it to me. Excuse me? I deserve it too, but I got to work for what I want. And the argument on that end, and I've heard this in various ways, but it's similar to this. It's like, well, you go to work and I'll just take your tax dollars and live. Excuse me? No. No. By the way, folks, I'm going to take a little break. Not a long one. Just going to take a little one. Little maybe 1 minute break, and I shall return. I may go the hour, but I'm not sure. I'll let you know when I get back. All right. You can email me, freeamericaradio@usa.com. That's freeamericaradio@usa.com. Waking up the masses. Truth, knowledge, and wisdom for your consumption. Waking up the masses. News and views concerning the New World Order. Waking up the masses. Join Bob Brutus as he pulls back the curtain on the esoteric agenda which has been in play for a millennia. Waking up the masses. WakingUpTheMasses.com. Hey folks, welcome back. Yes, you can catch the Views Expressed live on WakingUpTheMasses.com and on 1610 AM in the Chickamauga, Georgia area. So check it out. If you have any questions whatsoever about WakingUpTheMasses.com or my show or any shows on Waking Up the Masses Radio Network, go to WakingUpTheMasses.com and email Bob Brutus over there and let him know. Ask him anything you like. I'm sure he has an answer. So there you go. WakingUpTheMasses.com. Check it out. Hey! Just to let you know, yes, I'm only going to go a half hour. So we got a few minutes left, and I want to let you know that, well, what can I say? Let's go look at some other things as well. There was a Ed Chiarini. There is a guy out there by the name of Ed Chiarini, and I will call him out, because evidence has proven beyond a doubt that he is the biggest fraud anywhere on the internet. He has some serious problems, folks. I just want to say that, but I don't want to get into it. I just want to say that people like him have some serious mental issues and should definitely rethink how they live, okay? Because, sooner or later, somebody's going to find you out. Sooner or later, somebody's going to point out the problems. And I really think these people have some serious mental issues. So, just letting you know. DrudgeReport.com. Islamists close in on Baghdad. Guess what? There's going to be a war in the Middle East. Period. End of sentence. And the president is not going to send the military over there to help clean it up. He's wanting the Middle East to take over. He's wanting the jihadists to take over. He's wanting the Muslim Brotherhood to take over the United States. But we, the people, are not going to let that happen, are we? If that's not enough, well, let me go read that one for you. A little preview of what's coming up on the Views Expressed live today. Iraq battles Islamists in Saddam's hometown, 80 miles from Baghdad. Glenn Carey and Muhammad Hobash Iraqi forces sought to check the rapid advance of Islamic militants who had seized major cities as Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki responded to the greatest threat to his government since taking power. The military attacked fighters of the Islamic State in Iraq and the Levant in Saddam Hussein's former hometown of Tikrit, about 80 miles or 130 kilometers north of Baghdad. State-sponsored Iraqi television reported. In Mosul, the Air Force struck ISIL positions after they seized the largest city in Iraq's north earlier this week. Iraqi said. Samaria television reported heavy clashes as the army fought for Tikrit, backed by air support. The surge in violence across northern and central Iraq 3 years after U.S. troops withdrew has raised the prospect of a return to sectarian civil war in OPEC's second biggest oil producer. Al-Maliki's Shiite-led government is struggling to retain control of Sunni-majority regions, and his army units in northern Iraq collapsed in the face of the Islamic advance. So I'm going to put that one, that's on Bloomberg.com, by the way, just to let you know. I am going to put that on the Free America Radio Facebook page to give you a heads up of what's coming up on the Views Expressed Live today. If you watch what is going on, and if you're able to put two and two together, and you follow the trends, you will see what's happening. And you will almost predict with probably a good amount of accuracy what will happen next. Here's another headline from Yahoo News. U.S. pushing local cops to stay mum on surveillance. U.S. pushing local police departments to keep quiet on cell phone surveillance technology. Shut up, it doesn't exist. I'm putting that up on the Free America Radio Facebook page to talk about later today on the Views Express Live. I got to tell you, folks, there is always going to be someone, anyone, who is going to disagree with everything you say. I haven't seen anyone yet disagree with anything that I say. And if they have, they've yelled too loud and showed very little evidence to back up what they say. So, I'm just letting you know. The WayneSPierceShow.weebly.com site is a great site to go to. If you want to sponsor the show, you can. Thank you very much. Go to the sponsors page. Those rates are chiseled in concrete. They ain't going up. I'm telling you that right now. So, I'm not in it for the money, but I'm in it for the support of the network. And that's where everything goes. Keep the website up and the show going. That's it. I get zip out of the deal, okay? I have ways of doing other things, and, so I'm good, okay? But your support for the Free America Radio Network and its advancement in other areas is very, very crucial. We're already on RadioKahuna.com. We're on WakingUpTheMasses.com. We're on 1610 AM in the Chickamauga, Georgia area. So we're constantly finding new ways and new avenues to put the Views Expressed Live and the Wayne S. Pierce Show out into the airwaves. And you can always find us on Spreaker.com. And, your support is greatly appreciated. So, but if you don't want to sponsor the show, that's fine too, because you can always donate. One time, boom, that always helps. So, thank you for your support. If you are able to support Free America Radio Network, thank you very much. I appreciate that. If you have any questions, of course, ask. More than happy to tell you what you need to know. Free America Radio at USA.com. Free America Radio at USA.com. Folks, I'm out of here. Come join me on the Views Expressed live today at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern on freeamericaradio.us.